have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
We will be perfect in every aspect of the game. You drop a pass, you run a mile. You miss a blocking assignment, you run a mile. You fumble the football, and I will break my foot off in your John Brown hind parts.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Screw them. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Merry Christmas!
Ho
Ho.
ho! Ho!
'Tis the season. We are officially 2 days away from the big 2-5 of December, known as Christmas. Kelly, is your tree up? Is it decorated?
Trees, plural.
Trees, plural?
Trees, plural.
They didn't get blown away?
Neither of them stand more than 3 feet tall,
Ah.
and they may be artificial. However,
It's good for the environment, though. You get to keep it year-round. You don't have to... I think it is, anyway.
One is very
I made that up.
well lit from the factory. That
Yeah.
was funny, by the
Yeah.
way. One was very well lit from the factory. The other one has a white tint to it. There's 2 trees.
Flocked. You have one that's flocked, huh?
It's flocked.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're big flocker.
Yeah, and about flocked it up, pulling
Mother
it out of the
flocker.
shed for the
Yeah.
old holiday
Nice.
season.
Yeah, nice.
You know, Christmas isn't just 2 days away, Ryan. I gotta let's call this what it is.
In your heart, it's year-round?
Negative.
Oh.
Negative. we could just skip it completely. In any event.
Whoa, Scrooge.
Yeah.
Chill.
Whatever. Just listen to me. Will you stop? For me, like so many others, I feel like the old Christmas starts tomorrow because we're off of work and we're in holiday mode and we're in holiday season, but we are off of work, Ryan. I do not have to hit the floor with my feet tomorrow morning, go about my routine, and go in to work. So for me,
All right.
Christmas is early, at least by a day. At least by a day. I like that.
Have we gone over this? Are you a Christmas Eve family or a Christmas Day family?
We're a little bit of both.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of both going on. Christmas Eve used to be very much Christmas Eve, and we're still a Christmas Eve family.
Yeah.
We are.
I feel like Christmas Eve night is more Christmas than actual Christmas Day, if that makes sense.
It feels like it.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because it's not over once you go to bed. Because there's a lot of like pomp and circumstance. At least this is how I feel about it. When you wake up Christmas morning and you do the Christmas thing and you open presents and you eat and then you're done by 2:00 and then it's just done. Right? And then it's just over with.
Yep.
You know? I kind of like to drag it out a little bit because I'm like, there's a whole bunch of build up to this. Like it's a month where, you know, some people it's a whole year. Like if you're my mother-in-law, you start buying Christmas presents in May. So you don't have anything to do towards the end of the year, which is fine. Like you can be proactive and then just enjoy whatever you need to enjoy. But for the rest of us who aren't as proactive, otherwise known as procrastinators, who get stuff done about a couple days prior, there is this big buildup, and then all of a sudden it's just you're just done. So I've always felt like Christmas Eve night, and then if you can have like Christmas dinner at night, you know, kind of extends it a little bit. Not that I want to like make it longer than it needs to be, but make it worth my while. There's been all this hype about it, and then it's just like we open presents, we eat, and then it's done.
I'll tell you, the buildup is real.
Yeah.
There are people I know in my social circles who, the minute that last dish is dried from Thanksgiving, that freaking Christmas tree is going up.
Oh, yeah.
Like it is go time.
Yeah.
Out comes the tinsel. Is it tinsel? Is that what it is?
Yeah, there's tinsel involved.
There's
yeah.
some tinsel. I mean, it is. The dishes are not dried from Thanksgiving yet, and I'm telling you, it is Christmas mode.
Yeah, and I think that's just people trying to like wring out every last drop of Christmas because I think they feel the same sentiment that I do, where it's like if you wait too long to start doing things, then it's just over and it's not worth it. But for them, they can have it up, the entire month. You can have your lights up all month and then get them blown off your house by 100-mile-an-hour winds.
That's kind of my strategy. Not the lights, but that's kind of my strategy with like the tree, because my wife used to be very, very, very good about get the tree up right away, but we used to cut a tree, and we had an artificial one for a while. We used to cut one for a while. But it's like I drag this out, right? And I procrastinate and I drag this out. And all of a sudden we get to a point where it's like, well, what's the point of even putting up a tree now? Yeah! Yes! Victory!
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, we got 2. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
It sounds like you've kind of doubled the problem. You have 2 now instead of just putting up 1.
Yeah, but they're really small.
Okay.
And you can move them around really easy, and they just go back in the shed for another 11 months, and it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah, we have 2 toddlers.
Hell, I might leave them up, because the one that we got going upstairs that's well lit.
Yeah.
That's a great nightlight.
There you go.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I work my way upstairs in the middle of the night for whatever reason.
Sure.
I can see where I'm going, Ryan.
There you go.
I can see where I'm going.
Yeah.
It's serving multiple purposes up there. It's not just a holiday. It's serving purposes.
There are people
it's
that just
safety.
There are people that just leave their stuff up almost year round. My neighbor, the one that's behind you currently, their Christmas lights, I'm surprised that he was even installing them again at the beginning of this month, because I'm pretty sure he just took them down in October.
Oh, boy.
And then was like reinstalling them in December.
He must have gotten in trouble with the better half.
I don't know.
And I got to get myself outside.
I don't know. I hardly ever see the better half. So
yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably why. Can you leave those inflatable things up year round? Those things that go in your yard that blow up to like 16 feet tall?
Has the 30-foot Santa been inflated when you've come over here?
I'm going to go with probably not.
Okay.
Because I think I would recognize that. There's a house not far from here on a certain street in our fine little community here
Right.
where there are 16-foot Halloween inflatable creatures that are up year round.
Yeah.
And I swear to you, they are fully inflated year round. All ghosts, skeletons, the whole crapperoo. A Dracula.
How do you feel about the skeleton of a former race car being in your front yard? Is that something you would do year round?
Skeleton of a former race car.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Didn't I comment on that when I left?
I think so, yeah.
I believe I did.
They've got it all decked out in Christmas lights now.
Yep.
Which is fine for like this time of year, because then it's a prop and it's a whole thing. Like if you go out Nemo Road here in town, there's a house just kind of off to the right side of the road as you're headed that way. And they have, for Halloween, they create like a ghost ship. So it looks like a pirate ship, but it's got a bunch of like skeletons on it and stuff like that. So I'm cool with props, but I don't know about how I feel about having the remains of what used to be a race car just sitting in your front yard year round.
I'm pretty sure I commented just last time when I left.
Yeah.
About there.
Was that before or after you fell on your face?
That was after, and I collected my thoughts, and I got
you doing
my
okay
wits
after
back.
that? Knees are good. There's no like residual damage. Did you bruise anything?
Well, I was in concussion protocol for a little bit, but
Right.
I managed to come out of it. I will be playing.
Did
this
you see
week.
Jordan Love in there while you were in protocol?
No,
Did
it
you
was
guys
too soon.
pass each other in the hall?
Premature, and mine was legitimate concussion.
Oh,
He
okay.
just didn't want to play that day. In any event,
Yeah.
I passed protocol.
How many ACLs do the Chiefs have again? Oh yeah, that's right. They don't have any. Got it. What are the chances that both of your quarterbacks tear their ACL in back-to-back weeks?
Minshew didn't tear his.
Oh, he didn't?
It was revealed that he did not.
Really?
He did not. They did
that-
sign a quarterback.
Did that come out today?
Yesterday?
Oh, okay.
Minshew did not. It was revealed that he did not tear his.
All right. I don't think
ACL.
Patrick did either. I think he was just done.
I told you this. We in our private little session. I told you this. He had a look on his face. He threw the pick.
Yeah.
Goes to the sidelines. He's like, "Awesome, baby. Get those tickets ready. We're
Yeah.
going to Cancun, right?" And then the defense does its job, gets a stop, gets the ball back. Patrick has the opportunity.
Yeah.
Take the field down, or take the team down the field, get a win. And the look on his face was like, "You effing idiots!
I'd rather
I
do anything
set
else."
this up perfect for this season to be over for us, and now you guys got to go out there and actually do your freaking job." Yeah. Anyway, Patrick did in fact tear his. He had surgery. Minshew did not. However, the Chiefs did sign Shane Buechele,
Okay.
which former face. He'd been there before, I believe. I believe he was the third stringer
Buechele.
before.
Buechele. Gotcha. Interesting. Well, as of today, we'll get into maybe a little bit more of the Chiefs
got a lot.
later in the show. There's a ton of stuff to talk about.
got a
So
lot.
much so, Kelly, that I wanted to do things a little bit different as far as how we run the show today.
Oh,
A little festive action going on here.
changing shit up.
I
on me.
know.
Here we go.
It's crazy, right? So when Santa delivers presents, he's usually got like a bag. Some call it
Santa's got a bag.
some call it a sack, depending on who you are. You know, I didn't have any of those readily available today. Okay, but we are going to do a quote unquote grab bag of topics, and how we're gonna do that is in your little coffee cup over there, your little orphan's coffee cup that you have. There are 6 topics. You're just gonna pick one. You're just going to pick a slip of paper out of there. You're going to read it, and then we're just going to go off on it.
You set this baby up already. Look at you, Mr. Proactive.
Yeah, just go ahead and grab one out of there, read it.
By the way, you can edit that later.
I don't know if I will.
I got, okay, truth is this. Here comes full disclosure.
Sure.
So we played the game You Don't Know last week, right? And it's a great segment. We're going to continue it. We're going to have a friend of the show on today.
Yeah. Could be the next segment. Who knows?
In any event, my better half suggested when I told her about the segment, it was a lot of fun. We're going to get Meredith in, da-da-da. She said, well, maybe you should change the name of it just to keep it more family friendly in case people are listening with kids. So we are, in fact, going to do that. We are going to do that.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Got it. Total. All right. Yep.
Okay, so what am I doing? I'm digging?
Yeah, don't even look. Just reach in there and grab one. See what you find.
Fell for this once.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you got?
What do you got? Here we go. Hey, this looks good. Ryan's college football changes.
Ooh.
Let's do it. I bet you got 5 of them.
I do have 5 of them. I do have 5 of them. Let me spice things up here with a little.
How big of a joke was that? Let's get into it. How big of a joke was that?
Listen, that's one of the topics in there. If you pull it out, we can always just kind of bleed into that as well. But yeah, so with all of the stuff that's going on with college football, Kelly and I were kind of talking over the weekend a little bit, how it was made of a mockery. So I wanted to implement some changes that may spice some things up for the 2026 season. These are my brainchild. So if the CFP wants to take any of these and use them for next year to improve their overall product, you're more than welcome to. I just ask for some form of royalty, roughly, I don't know, $100 million for each one that you take, because I know you got the money. I know for a fact that you do. So whichever one you take, or if you take all of them, I just want to be compensated fairly for it. Okay, so
do I get to comment on these?
Yeah, you absolutely do.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
I can't just sit here and be quiet. I can't.
All right. So these are I've come up with top 5 rule changes for the 2026 CFP. I know the CFP is not over, but we have witnessed enough over the course of the first weekend of college football playoff. There needs to be changes, Kelly.
CFP was over for 2 teams before it even started, but let's get into that.
This is very true.
Thank you, Tulane.
We'll talk about that.
And James Madison.
Okay. So, top 5 rule changes for the 2026 college football playoff. Number 1, Kelly.
Number 1.
I suggest that if you accept a job to be a head coach at another school, but your current school makes the college football playoff, you must coach the current school in the new school's mascot suit.
Well, okay, now let me put this together. Okay. So Lane Kiffin,
correct,
is going to coach Ole Miss, probably all the way to the championship, potentially.
As the LSU Tiger.
Wearing the tiger. Wearing the tiger.
Yes.
I'm down with it. Implement immediately.
Yes. Reason being is because, okay, you can go ahead and take what you would claim to be the better job. You can go ahead and do that. And you can go ahead and do what you want as far as coaching the team. But there needs to be repercussions for leaving a program early or in limbo or during a run. And if you're so proud to leave that school for another school, but also still want to continue what you're doing over here, then you need to wear the new colors, or, in this case, the mascot uniform.
The tiger.
So, Tulane's coach, John Summerall, would be a big old gator, baby.
He's wearing the gator.
Yeah.
And that's a big old mascot.
Yeah. How funny would that be? Just a mascot running around on the sideline with a clipboard trying to call plays. Oh.
That's amazing. I think implement immediately.
Yes. Are you starting to guess where this is going?
I'm kind of seeing.
Number 2, if you are a lower-ranked Power 5 champion and you make the college football playoff as an 11 or 12 seed, and you accept the invitation to participate in said college football playoff, but then proceed to lose by 3 or more touchdowns, you are then automatically relegated to Division 2. Or you can choose to decline the invitation and stay in Division 1.
I'd go one step further with that. Instead of demoting all the way to Division 2, put him back in FCS.
Oh, dang. All right.
Still Division One.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
But move them back to FCS because let's be honest, Tulane not so much, but James Madison was there 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So you're going to take a demotion,
All right.
which they earned.
Yeah.
You watched the game, everybody watched. We joked about it. There you go, demotion. Not all the way to Division II.
Okay.
Because they would clean house in Division II. But in FCS, they probably still lose.
All right, I like it.
We'll go there.
Amend it. Amend that one.
Done.
Yes. Number 3.
Hey, Greg Abbott, do you approve of that one? Jackwagon.
Number 3, and this isn't for anything in particular because none of the teams that made the CFP are involved in this, but I just want it to be known this needs to be written in the bylaws. If your team makes the college football playoff, but your quarterback wears a number anywhere between the numbers 20 and 99, you're automatically disqualified. Don't like it, not aesthetically pleasing, can't do it. Change your number or get out.
I'm done with it. No analysis needed. Done.
Number 4, if you are not selected into the college football playoff and then proceed to decline an invitation to the Pop-Tart Bowl, you are no longer eligible for the college football playoff for the next 3 years, and this strictly pertains only to the Pop-Tart Bowl invitation. The number of teams that qualify for the CFP will then be raised to 24 during this 3-year period, just to rub it in.
Oh, my goodness. Salt in the wound. A 3-year ban.
Yeah.
A 3-year ban.
And during that 3-year ban, it will be raised to 24 teams, but only during that 3-year period that you're not involved.
Listen, I'm not a big fan of these teams opting out of the bowl games. If you meet the eligibility and you get the 6 wins, and hell, there were even some 5-win teams that because of so many opt-outs, they were invited and they declined.
Yeah.
You play in your bowl.
Listen.
You play in the bowl. The school gets money. I don't care if you got 24 fans sitting out there. You play in the freaking bowl. You were invited. Play in the bowl.
Especially the Pop-Tart Bowl. This is a gift to mankind. Okay, the winning team gets to eat a giant Pop-Tart that comes out of a giant toaster.
It's amazing.
What are we doing? Who doesn't want to be a part of that?
Exactly.
In some ways, that's a better trophy than the stinking CFP trophy.
Agreed.
Okay, all right. Okay, and number 5.
Yeah, implement that.
Number 5. And this doesn't really have anything to do with the CFP. This is just a general rule change to college football in general. If your head coach is arrested for a felony while also texting an OnlyFans model at halftime of a major rivalry game, your program will automatically be required to hire Brian Kelly as your new head coach.
I think that's a prerequisite to apply at Michigan. I believe that's. I think that's part of the knowledge, skills, and abilities that you have to demonstrate on your resume to apply at Michigan.
Yeah,
that or DUIs. I mean, one or the other. Something's going to happen.
Something along those lines.
Yep.
Yeah.
God, I'm so glad I get to turn my guns at Michigan for a while. I've taken a beating over Penn State for so long.
You see, they're still hungry for Kalen DeBoer there.
Yeah.
Like even after all the decline, they still came out. And they're like, "Yeah, we're pursuing him." It's like,
yeah.
Okay.
No, you're not. No, you're
Whatever.
not. The same way he was pursuing the female model too. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Pursue away. You're not getting
Nice.
Kalen DeBoer. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, if you pull the other college one out of there,
here we go.
We'll just skip it, but we can go straight into the college thing since we just talked about it to kind of keep the flow here.
So I'm not.
Don't pull anything right now, but if you do pull it, just set it aside. Yeah. Okay. Weirdo. But yeah, I mean, so we had our first round of college football playoff games. We had a very interesting matchup with the very first game on Friday between Oklahoma and Alabama, where Oklahoma kind of came out and was like, "Hey, here we are," punched him in the mouth, and then didn't do anything for the second half. So. I don't have a ton of analysis on any of these games for the most part. I think the most interesting game of the weekend was definitely the Miami game. That was, Miami. It was Miami, Texas Tech, right?
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
Yes.
Excuse me. Where it was 3-3 forever.
Correct.
And then the last 5 minutes, all of a sudden, the offenses decided they were going to start playing and scoring points and things like that. So,
see, I am on that note. I am completely convinced that there are only two types of college football fans. You've got those, such as me. I love the 3-3. It's a defensive battle. It wasn't necessarily ugly offenses. It wasn't. They were trying to execute things. It was a defensive battle, and I love that. I love 3-3, 3-0, whatever. I love the defensive battle. On the flip side, you got the opposite side, and there's no in between in this.
Yeah.
We want to be entertained. We want high scoring. We want stuff that's just off the charts. We want to see all this scoring and touchdowns and long bombs and everything. I love the defensive side of it. And I listened to the analysis, and they were even trying to figure it out. The guys that were calling the game were trying to figure out, is this really good defense from each team? Is it a failure to execute from each team? I'm not going to go with a failure to execute as much as I am. It was just really good defense. They made plays when they needed to make plays. They just couldn't sustain drives. That's defensive stuff.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it kind of started to feel like an overtime hockey game where next score wins type of thing, because you knew that, like, if anybody that scored first person to score a touchdown here is probably going to win it because of just how this game has gone.
It felt like it was going to be something wonky, like a crazy punt return that gets somebody into field goal range, whatever.
Yeah.
And that poor kid from Miami, he would have missed a barn kicking it from 20 yards away.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's really how it worked out.
Yeah.
That's a great game, though.
Yeah, I agree. It was kind of on the edge of your seat type of excitement, you know, for lack of a offensive game as there was, for sure. You know, and kind of feeding on what you're talking about, the defensive thing is kind of fun every now and again when you see it. But I mean, that was probably the only game that was really worth watching.
Yeah.
You know, for the most part. I mean, Alabama ran away with it in the second half of their game, and then, you know, we were talking in the boys' chat where somebody was like, "Man, is this James Madison game going to be worse?" And I'm like, "Well, my gut says yes, but I don't know how you can lose by more than 31 points." Come to find out, apparently you can, and it can be much worse.
Yeah, wasn't there a big betting thing that they screwed up with a late touchdown?
Oh, I'm sure there is. There always
there
is.
was something, whether it was the over, whether it was a point spread, I don't know, something like that. James Madison scored a garbage touchdown late, screwed up something for the bettors, blah, blah, blah. Because that's all we hear about anymore, right, is sports betting and all the other nonsense. That was never competitive. It was 34-3 or some crazy score in there. Oregon was doing whatever they wanted. Oregon and Ole Miss.
41-10 and 51-34.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Madison kind of came back and made it a little bit more interesting, but at the end of the day, man,
it wasn't interesting.
When you see, it wasn't interesting. I mean, more interesting than Tulane's 10 points. I mean, the fact that James Madison even put up 34, I think, was just because Oregon just stopped playing. But when you come into this game before anybody's taken a snap, before there's anything that's ever been done in the game, and you look at the line, and one of the teams is favored by 17.5 points in a playoff game, how does the committee not look at that and go, "This is a problem. This is a problem"? When the line is 3 scores to start the game, shouldn't a playoff game be like maybe a touchdown?
Yeah. Yes.
If you've picked
this is nothing new.
Yeah,
you're speaking like this is new, right?
I know, but I'm like, it's just if you feel like you've made the right decisions and the right teams made the playoff, and this is what you're standing behind because this is the structure that you've decided to implement, wouldn't the measuring stick for that be where the line ends up at?
We went through all 5 of those conferences: Conference USA,
right.
American. This,
and I get
whatever.
it. I know I'm just beating a dead horse, but it's hard.
But
for
you're
me
not.
It's hard for me to understand how you get how you look at this and think of it as any other result than what we just saw. Because we said it before it even started. It's like, listen, I want to get a group of guys up and go watch this game and make some sports bets on it up in Deadwood, and then they come out with their schedule and who's playing who, and it's like, actually, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Could you imagine the football lineup on Saturday had they picked the right teams? You would have had Miami and Texas. You would have had Notre Dame in there and probably Vanderbilt, right?
Yep.
And then you cap off the night with Packers Bears on Saturday.
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude.
Yep. Instead, you give 2 teams ultimately a bye week.
Correct. You get actually not even a bye week. You give them a warm up.
It was a scrimmage.
You give them a warm up. You give them an advantage. Those 2 teams, Ole Miss and Oregon, in my opinion, probably get more of an advantage than any other team because they kind of get the blood flowing again, right?
Yep.
You don't really have to exert a ton of effort because you played a lesser opponent, and now you go in with a little momentum into this next game, feeling pretty good about yourself. You just hung 41 and 51 up on the team that you played prior, and here we go.
Tulane probably had the best opportunity to kind of make a little bit of a wave. I see what I did there. Tulane probably had the best opportunity because they've got a good quarterback. That Retzlaff kid's a pretty good quarterback. But now you step up, and now you're playing in the college football playoffs with a bunch of other ranked opponents. There isn't, among all those 5 conferences.
Not yet.
Sorry.
What in the heck was that?
I was trying to look at where the game was going to get played for Texas and Oregon, and it started playing an ad. So.
Oh yeah, but we went through the 5 conferences. You can take any team you want out of that 5. None of those results are going to be different.
Yeah,
I mean that is the best of what you have in those conferences at this given time, and you see how it played out. We talked about this. It just pissed me off. It's broken, and it needs to be fixed. And I like all of your additions to what college football playoffs
Makes it more interesting, right?
It does,
Yeah.
and I like all of that.
I mean, if you're gonna make a mockery of it, let's make a mockery of it.
Agreed.
You know, if it's just one big joke to you, at least make me laugh.
Tulane's coach should have been wearing a gaiter. He should have been wearing a gaiter because they played as though
He was already gone.
It-
It played as if
correct.
they didn't need to show up because it was already over.
Did you see? And I'm sorry to pick on the guy. He might be a really nice guy, but did you see when they panned the camera over to him and they were like, "Ole Miss score, Ole Miss score, Ole Miss score, whatever, bad play, whatever." Emotionless.
I mean,
just
yeah.
a complete flat affect. Like, guys, I really don't care.
You got old
I'm
time-
out of here.
Yeah.
I've got 6 emails in my pocket right now that I'm going to
Yeah.
respond to from recruits at Florida.
Yeah.
I don't care what you guys do. In fact, take this headset off me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all done. You can call this game.
Plus, I look better in blue and orange anyway.
Yeah, he
I don't
didn't
need
give-
this weird blue and green thing you got going on, and the fact that your mascot has a face on it—that's a wave.
That was just
It's a wave with a face.
That was sad. That was sad because that's not
Because
what
you got
anybody
short timers
wants.
disease, right? It's
Yes.
just like, I don't know, man.
Yes, you're done. You're done, and your players know you're done.
Yeah.
So when you say, they're going to play for the coach, and there's a loyalty there, and I get it. I'm not starting that all over again.
I
but in
understand.
that situation,
Yeah, I
it
understand.
almost looks like the coach is bailing on the team. Like, I don't care how this turns out. I got a job, dudes.
Yeah.
I realize some of you are all done playing football because you won't be in the NFL or you won't go to another level. But I got another job waiting for me. I don't care how this turns out.
Yeah.
I got a bigger bag waiting for me a month down the road than anything that's going to happen from this. But you know what? Great effort, boys. Great effort. Good effort.
Yeah.
Way to keep it within 20
Yeah.
or not.
Well, and maybe you have a point to that. Maybe it's more of a distraction with him actually being there. Maybe Lane Kiffin did and now that I've had time to think about this, maybe he did them a favor by not actually coaching for Ole Miss.
You could make a valid argument for that.
Because it's just
Absolutely
it's the 300-pound purple gorilla in the room, right?
Yes. Yeah. By him not being there, by Lane Kiffin not being there with Ole Miss, at least it dies down some of the media hype and some of the crap.
Out of sight, out of mind. You don't have to think about it. You just focus on your team and who's there.
Yes, and I do think that we said once that ball's kicked off, Ole Miss is going to play Ole Miss football. They're going to do their thing. Coach did a nice job. They managed the game well. I mean, it was a great scrimmage for him. Great opening week. But Lane being gone removed probably a lot of questions and a lot of crap and a lot of stuff that just didn't need to be brought into that game, especially for the players. But now, I mean, Tulane's guy's there, right? At least he was a Tulane guy, and now he's
No, he's not.
He's no
Season's
longer a
over.
Tulane
He's
guy.
in Gainesville, man. He's already gone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless this was their plan all along, because now I look at New Year's Eve and New Year's Day for college football, and it seems like they're primed to not have to compete with what's going on in the NFL like they did over this weekend. They've got Wednesday and Thursday all to themselves for New Year's, and now they've got all their top matchups, right? Ohio State, Miami, Texas Tech, Oregon, Indiana, Alabama, and Georgia, Ole Miss. So now we just get to focus on it for 2 straight days.
That's fine, but at least start that way. It's a playoff. It's a playoff, right? The best of the best meet. We play this thing out until we crown a champion.
Yeah.
Bring your best in. That was not it.
Do you think they were trying to make a case for not expanding it?
Oh, they could have been.
Where they're like, see what happens when we let some of these lower guys in?
Oh, no. You can eliminate the lower guys. In fact, you can completely dissolve those conferences and make them join one of the Power 4 or Power 5. Make them do it that way then, if that's what you want to do. Because you're not bringing – this isn't it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that neither one of those teams was going to compete.
Right.
I mean, I would think, Ryan, that there are probably 4 and 5 win major programs that would have manhandled each of those schools.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, you could maybe look at a Wisconsin or a Penn State or a Nebraska or somebody playing against Tulane.
Yeah.
Would it have been more competitive? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But they still could have manhandled them. I mean, you were putting these middle-tier schools up against the absolute best of what college football has to offer for the season, at least. And that's what you get.
I mean, I know I laughed at it and thought it was ridiculous, but looking at it now, is there a better case that Duke should have been in?
We laughed that off, but I mean, maybe at least they
Would
beat
Duke-
a really good opponent in Virginia.
I mean, they would have probably put up a better fight than Ole Miss and Oregon than Tulane and James Madison, right? I mean,
correct.
Based on what my eyes see and
Hell,
what I believe, I guess.
If Virginia wins that game, James Madison's out anyway. because Virginia would be in,
Right.
James Madison out. They only dipped into that because they didn't want Duke in there. Well, maybe Duke could have been a better option for that situation. Or, maybe let's just get real and let's be real about everything and bring in Texas and Notre Dame. Bring in schools that are going to actually freaking compete.
Man, could you imagine the eyes on a game, Ole Miss versus Texas and Oregon versus Notre Dame?
Oh, yeah. Everybody was done watching those other ones after the first quarter, after the coin toss.
Yeah, I don't even think I paid attention to it. I paid a lot of attention to Miami and Texas A&M, but outside of that, I think once those other ones kicked off, I think I had a bunch of other stuff I needed to do.
I truly paid more attention because we had basketball that day, and I was sitting in the bleachers, and I paid more attention to Montana versus Montana State.
Yeah.
Because at least that was more competitive.
Right.
And I mean, it ended up pretty ugly for Montana, but
Yeah.
that's what caught my attention. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a bad look and one of those things where I'm like, okay, you got to figure out which way you're going to want this domino to fall. Because if it falls one way, you've got a bunch of different things that are going to fall down that are going to lead to a much worse product. If it falls the other way, you've got a potential to save this and make it a lot better towards what we as fans want. And I think the more and more we talk about it, the more and more I am on your side, on other people's side, where it's been like you just put in the best teams and let them duke it out. Because I mean that's what you want to see. It's just like you don't give a freebie to somebody in the NFL just because you think they deserve it. It's not like you're like, well, the Titans haven't made the playoffs in X amount of years, so we'll just let them in.
Yeah.
Correct. Like you don't do that. And I think I'm on the side of that. I think you leave the underdog stuff or the Cinderella stuff to the 64 team thing in basketball, just because it's basketball and it's a different sport. This, on the other hand, put Texas in, put Notre Dame in, make it worth our while.
I mean, if you look at the rosters top to bottom, you can take your college basketball, look at the roster top to bottom. People predominantly look at what? They look at the height, they look at, whatever. When you go to evaluate talent, at like how many of these kids could potentially play at the next level, much smaller sample size in college, and you generally get some pretty good athletes that can play ball. Do the same thing for these college football teams. Go roster top to bottom and look at
bigger, stronger.
Look at
faster.
the guys that could potentially be playing at the next level.
Yeah.
The star ranking. A lot of people say, "Oh, the star ranking when they're recruited, that doesn't matter." Da da. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It absolutely does. And if you evaluate the roster, and you're looking at 11 and 11, so ultimately 22, not to mention special teams, there's a pretty big gap.
Yeah.
Between the talent pool.
Yeah.
At some of these major universities like that.
Well, and even for the size of some of these guys, too. You think about the down linemen for a lot of these teams, where your top guy on somebody like Tulane might be the fourth string for Georgia.
Yeah.
Just because of what you're talking about. But also from a size standpoint, where it's like, all right, well, the biggest guy we were able to recruit for our offensive line is only, he's 30 pounds lighter and 2 inches shorter than the worst guy on Oregon.
Yeah. They're
265-pound
senior offensive guard.
Yeah.
And they're going against a 315-pound redshirt freshman.
Right, who runs a 4.5 40.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And needs a sports bra to do it, but he's still huge.
So what? He's big and he can play the game.
Right.
He doesn't have to go long. 4 seconds, hit the whistle.
Yeah. There is a lot to be said for that, too. It's just the talent pool. It's the same thing that we view here in high school sports, right? Like, what talent pool are you choosing from? You coach Hill City football. You don't have the same talent pool that you're choosing from that Sioux Falls does.
No.
Right? And that's just population density. It's the number of people that live there. It's just odds. It's a bigger selection to choose from. So, I mean, it's just how it goes.
So my son, who played quarterback, right, Brenson?
Yeah.
He's watching some of these games, and he's following along, and they're always doing the camera shots on the O-line, D-line, whatever the case is. And he found himself in multiple games this year where he ran the ball quite a bit. He had several rushing attempts in some of these games. And he sees on TV, these big monsters up there at 330, 325, all these offensive linemen that are just huge, right? Just moving mountains. And he just looks and he's like, man, Dad, can you imagine if I'd had a couple of those? And I'm like, you wouldn't have had to run the ball.
Yeah.
You'd have been fine.
You could have sat back there for, the entire quarter and waited for somebody to get open.
Yeah, basically give that thing to your running back, let him hop on the back of one of the big boys and say, go straight ahead.
Or put that big boy at running back and just let him go straight ahead.
Look out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous how big and athletic those guys are, for sure. I don't know. I had another point that I was going to make, but it completely slipped my mind because it's just happening now.
Yeah.
You know? I'm like, man, that would have been a good thing to say, but I don't know what it was. Must not have been important. It'll come back to me later at some point.
We're more alike than you thought.
I know, right?
See?
Yeah. It's great. But,
Okay.
yeah. What's next?
Oh, now I'm pulling.
Yeah. If you pull the CFP mockery, just throw it aside. What do you got?
We're going to wait on that.
I guess you're making the rules now.
I got to give adequate notice. I got to give
right.
adequate notice.
All right.
Okay. That's the one you want me to discard.
Wow, you're good at this.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Ryan, you know what we should talk about?
What's that?
Let's talk about Chiefs on the move.
Chiefs on the move.
Chiefs
All right.
on the move.
So recently announced, the Kansas City Chiefs, near and dear to your heart, a team that some say we talk about too much on this show. I say we talk about it too much on the show. I'm just kidding. But there's a big move happening. Literally, Kansas City Chiefs are moving to Kansas.
They sure are.
And for those of you that didn't know, there's a Kansas City, Kansas, and there's a Kansas City, Missouri. And the Chiefs currently reside in Kansas City, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, in 2031, they're going to go to Kansas City, Kansas, or something like that, right?
Yep.
Are they actually going to Kansas City, Kansas?
Yes.
Okay, because
They're
they have
gonna
to,
be,
yeah.
They're going to be right next to the old Kansas Speedway.
There you go.
Yep.
All right. So
435.
Yeah.
They're going to find a way to get traffic right back on 435. It's going to be a lot faster than one Arrowhead Drive right now. I think it's a great move.
Nice.
I think it's a great move. I don't really care. Is it closer if I want to go watch the game? Yes, I believe it is. So in any event, I would say that Missouri kind of screwed this up big time.
Yeah, I would say so, especially with the amount of success that the Chiefs have had over recent years, obviously. But Yahoo Sports reports that the Chiefs, in conjunction with the Kansas governor, Laura Kelly, and NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, announced in a statement from the owner and Chairman Clark Hunt on Monday that the team will move to a and this is the part of this story and everybody else's story when they're making these new stadiums, because they all want to host the Super Bowl, right? They all want an opportunity to host the Super Bowl. So we're all going to build inside stadiums and football won't be played outdoors anymore. Case in point, the team will move to a domed stadium in Kansas City, Kansas. The announcement came after a meeting of the Kansas Legislative Coordinating Council to discuss the Chiefs' stadium plans. It's planned to be completed in 2030, and the project's going to cost them about $3 billion.
I am willing to bet, and I have not seen any prototypes or any information on it, but I'm willing to bet it's going to be the I just had the word and it just slipped my mind. The retractable ceiling. I think it's going to have a retractable ceiling. That's what I think.
It's still lame because they won't open it when it's snowing.
And that's okay. I mean, that's okay if they want their Super Bowl and whatever, but there are times in Kansas, man, you're going to have to crack that roof.
Yeah.
It's hot down there.
Yeah.
You're going to have to crack her open.
So the Chiefs' lease at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas, Missouri goes through 2030. Chiefs have played at Arrowhead since '72, and the stadium's currently the oldest in the AFC. Before Arrowhead was built, the Chiefs played at Municipal Stadium and have not been located outside Missouri since the Dallas Texans became the Chiefs in 1963. So this is a big deal.
Second major franchise to leave the state of Missouri.
Yeah. Rams.
Yeah, kind of a big deal. Like, what do you got going there, fellas?
Yeah, which is kind of crazy because that St. Louis loved the Rams. Everybody there, they were devastated when they moved, and obviously you get the money in the stadium to go to L.A. and a bigger market and all that stuff. It is what it is, but it's unfortunate to see some of this stuff happening because not only are we having this conversation with the Chiefs moving to Kansas, but we're having a conversation about the Chicago Bears potentially not being in Chicago and moving to Indiana.
Correct.
Gary, Indiana.
Yep.
Where they would build a stadium, and then most people would just end up calling them the Gare Bears. Partial joke, but also a major reality because some of these major cities, for some reason, don't want to keep these teams where they're at. I don't know. It's crazy. Like the NFL has proven, if anything, that it's a juggernaut when it comes to making money.
Yes. Have you ever known NFL football to be played when there is not Arrowhead Stadium? It has forever been Arrowhead. As long as I've been a fan, it has been Arrowhead Stadium.
Yeah.
And that is no longer.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where it's a little jarring. I think the first one that was jarring to me was when it wasn't Heinz Field anymore for the Steelers.
Yeah.
Obviously, Mile High is always Mile High because of where they're located. You can call it Empower Field, but we're always going to call it Mile High. It's just what it is. I would say the only other one kind of in conjunction with Arrowhead Stadium being what it is could you imagine the Packers playing anywhere but Lambeau Field?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
There's just some of these things that are like, why mess with it?
Yep. Well, and Missouri screwed it up. I know there were talks, and I don't know how much, I don't know how much each governor had to say in that whole thing, but the Chiefs have been hinting about this for several years about we're going to have to reach something, and this is what we're asking for. If you want us to stay here in Missouri, we're going to need some renovations to Arrowhead. We're going to need this, and it all started kind of with GEHA, G-E-H-A coming in, where it was Arrowhead Stadium, and now they've got G-E-H-A Field in Arrowhead Stadium.
Yep.
It all kind of started going right there, where it was like money's starting to push things. Money's kind of the talking figure here.
Yeah. So why are the Chiefs moving? According to Yahoo Sports, a tug-of-war has unfolded for months between the state of Kansas and Missouri, and the Chiefs are moving because Kansas is willing to foot more of the bill than Missouri is. And money talks. So Chiefs said Monday that Kansas' proposal to use star bonds from the state would cover 60% of the project. Missouri, meanwhile, approved a plan during the summer of 2025 that would pay for up to half the cost of the new stadiums for both the Chiefs and the Kansas City Royals. The Royals, who embarked on a new stadium location search of their own, were not included in Monday's announcement. I guarantee that will change over the course of time, too, if, you kind of start to look at some of this stuff and go, well, if they can get 60% and we can move over there, why not just build one for the both of us?
Yep.
You already got the racetrack there. Let's build. You got the equipment out. Let's just go ahead and build another. Yep. You see it in Texas. If you go down and watch the Cowboys play, the Texans play right next door to where the Cowboys do. It's right. It's literally right across the street and right next to I believe a Walmart. So.
Well, there was talk years ago about the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah.
After the Rams left town. There was also talk about the Cardinals and whether they're going to keep the Cardinals.
You want to talk about something that would be absolutely devastating to the entire sports landscape?
Yes.
If the St. Louis Cardinals were no longer located in St. Louis, that is a pillar franchise. That would be like the Red Sox leaving Boston. That's like the Yankees leaving New York.
But if somebody comes in and they've got a big wad of green and they're like, hey, we're going to build this for you, we're going to do this, and this, teams would have to think about it. They'd have to entertain the thought.
I understand people probably thought that with the Baltimore Colts and a bunch of other stuff too, where things change, and even the Oilers are down in Houston and all that stuff. Kauffman Stadium and Arrowhead Stadium are located next to each other at the Truman Sports Complex, and the complex is owned by Jackson County, most populous county in Kansas City metro area. So the Truman Sports Complex is located about 15 minutes east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri, at the intersection of Interstate 435 and 70. And the Chiefs' new stadium would be approximately 20 minutes west of downtown Kansas City, Missouri, at the western interchange of 435 and 70, which Kelly kind of already mentioned. So this is nothing new as far as teams being located in weird places as far as what their name is concerned. If you think about the New York Jets and the New York Giants, they actually play in New Jersey.
That is correct.
So this would just be, and it's nice that the two Kansas Cities are located next to one another. They just made it one big Kansas City, essentially, that just stretches across two borders. So you don't really have to worry about the name change there. But, just some things to look out for. I'm interested to see what the Chicago thing does as well, because if they do have to move to Indiana, that's weird. And they're looking at building yet another domed stadium as well, so they can potentially host the Super Bowl, and that's kind of what everybody's after, right? That's the new big fun thing. The Bills are building a new stadium that it's going to open up next year. I think there still has an opening on it, though. I don't think it's completely enclosed.
Nope.
Which is good, because there's when you think of the Bills and you think of wintertime, you think of snow.
Yep.
So
and all those fans up there shoveling out those stadiums.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah. So, Chiefs say a domed stadium would allow Kansas City to host a Super Bowl and other events like the men's Final Four. Kansas City is the former home of the NCAA and has hosted the men's Final Four 10 times. However, in the NCAA has increasingly searched for larger indoor venues for its marquee event. The Final Four hasn't been held in Kansas City since 1988. And as I mentioned before, this announcement comes less than a week after the Chicago Bears floated the idea of relocating to northern Indiana as they search for a site for their new stadium as well. The Bears said they had been told by Illinois legislators that financing for their stadium project would not be a priority in 2026.
Do you think that changes a little bit if the Bears make a really strong push into the playoffs?
No, only because this idea of getting the Bears a new stadium has been floated around for about 15 years now.
Yep.
And every single time the city of Chicago goes, no, we'd rather spend that money on schools and we'd rather spend that money on housing and some other things.
And the Cubs.
Well, Well, the Cubs are as great as Wrigley Field is. That thing needs a renovation, I think.
Big time.
Because every time everybody's like, it's great, but it smells like piss.
Well, there's that. There's that.
Smells like R. Kelly's sheets.
Wow.
How do you feel overall? What's like if you could encompass this in one take? How do you feel about it?
I don't just specifically the Chiefs.
Yes, you as a Chiefs fan, them moving,
Don't
no
care.
longer Arrowhead.
Don't care.
Excited?
I don't care.
Okay.
No real emotion around it whatsoever. It's like, I know that money is the driving force. I know that's what it is.
Yeah.
I know that the Chiefs, at least the organization in the front office, has talked about if we're going to stay at Arrowhead Stadium, it's the oldest damn stadium in the league right now. They've talked about They've talked about needing renovations, doing this. They've put in for bids to have the Super Bowl there. They've been denied.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't really care where they play. As a fan,
There's no sentiment in your heart as a Chiefs fan for Arrowhead?
No.
If you had an opportunity to go to the last game they played at Arrowhead and you were like, you wouldn't.
Nope, don't care. Most of my sentiment, as you so call it, most of my sentiment kind of went away when they named the field GEHA. I like just straight up, you're playing at Arrowhead Stadium, but now you have to have a field because you have to have a sponsor because you have to have whatever to pay for whatever you're paying for. But now we're GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium. That was where most of my sentiment was. It's like, you know what? I've only known Arrowhead Stadium. No naming of the field, no whatever. It's Arrowhead. I don't care at this point.
Okay.
Move to Kansas. Fine, whatever.
All right.
You got it worked out. You got some smart people together, and you got people that are willing to pay for a lot of things there. Then move. I mean, is it better for the team? Could be. Is it going to hurt the team? No, not at all.
Yeah, I think in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to matter. You're 20 minutes away from your former site. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And you won't confuse people because you'll actually be in Kansas.
And as a fan, I think it will be set up. I think traffic and departure from the stadium and all that stuff is going to be set up much more advanced than they currently have right now. Because if you've ever been to Arrowhead, it's a bit of a logjam getting in and getting out of that place. I mean, there's a lot of one-way streets down there by the stadium. It's a bit of a logjam. It's kind of a mess.
Yeah.
Being so close to 435 on this new stadium, dude, they'll have traffic moving in a heartbeat. I don't think it'll take any time to get in and out of that stadium. And I don't care. Whatever. Play in Kansas. Good for you. Wonderful.
I think to circle back real quick before we move on to the next thing, I think one of the major factors for St. Louis in particular is I've heard a ton of horror stories about the violence that kind of goes on outside. Like, people are like, yeah, you can go see the Cardinals play, but just make sure that you keep your eyes open when you're walking to and from the stadium. Yeah. Just with some of the stuff that's going on there. It just seems like the stories that have been told are a little bit dangerous.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. I don't know why, but it could be a major concern as to why some of these teams are not willing to invest in a city if you can't guarantee some safety for your fans.
It's possible. You hear a lot more of that leaving Coors Field now. If you go a certain direction away from Coors Field.
Yeah. 16th Street has always been sketchy for years.
Yeah.
Years and years and years. You know, you kind of take the trolley down to 16th Street over to Blake and I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you got next? What do you got?
What do you got? Want to?
You did you have something on Harbaugh?
You're going to pull it?
Did you have? Yep, let's do it.
What are you going to pull next? What's in there? All right.
I make everything hard. Oh, well, that's dumb.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Wait.
This is all we're setting it. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we're gonna go John Harbaugh for 300. John Harbaugh for 300.
All right. This one got me pretty fired up the other day for reasons that we'll get into. But the Ravens played the Patriots Sunday night. Okay. Another classic battle between two hardcore AFC teams vying for playoff positioning, things like that. You know, Patriots haven't been on the playoff picture for a while. They have an opportunity to kind of seal one up here with a win. Ravens fighting with those pesky Steelers for the division, and that's the only way that they're going to get into the playoffs is if they win their division, right?
That's it.
And I got a message for all of you stubborn Steelers fans out there that were harping on me for being a Aaron Rodgers, I don't know, meat writer or whatever you want to call it. How do you feel about him now? When I said that he's the best thing to happen to your franchise at the quarterback position in the last 5 years, how do you feel about him now? He's 42 years old. He's out there slinging it, and he's got you in a position to win the division. And he's part of the reason why you're even close to winning the division, frankly. There's probably 2 or 3 games that he's helped you win that you wouldn't have won if he wasn't there. And on top of it, he's got a broken wrist, and he's still out there playing. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I'll move on. That was for one specific person that apparently doesn't want to watch him, doesn't want to watch their precious Steelers because one person is out there trying to give it their all to make sure that the Steelers win games.
I really kind of felt like that was directed at me just because of my dislike for Aaron Rodgers, but I made sure and lock eye contact with you just to get a real good sense about whether that was directed at me.
But you don't like Aaron Rodgers, but I feel like you can agree with the things that I just said.
Yeah.
Right?
Every one of them.
If you can be, somewhat impartial about it, like he's part of the reason why they're even in position to do this. He's actually played really good football. And if you've watched a minute of him play, he's still slinging it, man. He's still got an arm. He's still doing it. And honestly, it looks pretty damn good.
I think we can all agree, too. You saw the week where Mason Rudolph was their guy.
Yeah.
When Rodgers was not involved.
Yeah.
You got to look at that.
Yeah.
You got a nice taste of what that looked like minus Aaron Rodgers.
So anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there, just a little salt into the wound as we continue to kind of go forward into this. I know that you guys, the Steelers won and you're moving forward, and you helped my Packers out a ton by beating the Lions in probably one of the weirdest final plays in any game that I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. How do you catch the ball on the half-yard line and then proceed to just let the game play as he's getting driven back 5 yards and then have him toss the ball and then it's actually a touchdown? But when does forward progress stop at, oh, wait, because we didn't blow the whistle for forward progress like we should have because he was short and we accidentally let the play go on, or maybe it wasn't really an accident. It was kind of a setup to make sure that maybe we get the Lions an opportunity to win, but then we realize, well, it's going to look ugly because you can't really just have a guy catch a ball, drive him back 5 yards, not call forward progress, have him pitch the ball to the quarterback, have him dive into the end zone for the touchdown, offensive pass interference, game over. Sorry, you lose.
You're putting your tinfoil hat on, and I like it.
And if that was confusing, go watch the play.
Look.
And we're totally off the rails on this because we're supposed to be talking about John Harbaugh.
We're going to get there, but rewind that all the way to the point of the OPI.
Yeah.
Why, St. Brown? Why?
I don't know.
You're a professional receiver. What do you do 99% of the other time in a situation where you are approaching coverage? You give a wiggle. You give a head shake. You do something, right? Fake an inside. Just take one jab step inside. Give a wiggle with your shoulders. Do something. Turn around, catch it, and fall in the end zone. Why do you got to run into the dude?
Extend your arms.
Like he's standing in your way to the concession stand. Why do you just got to shove him 5 yards deep into the end zone? What are you doing, dude? Give a wiggle. Give a shake. Catch the ball and fall in the end zone. And then all of everything that you just went over is all for naught.
Hell of an effort by Jared Goff, though, to even get that ball into the end zone after getting it.
Apparently the only one that had any field awareness whatsoever was the quarterback who came running down behind. Yeah. But again, officials, do you know what forward progress is?
I think they do. They just choose whether or not to call it because
that can't happen.
Because at that point in time, apparently forward progress on that play was not even a thing. Because like I said, he catches it at the half-yard line, and then they allow him to get driven back, 4 or 5 yards?
Goff took the ball at the 7.
Yeah, so he gets driven back by the defensive player.
Yeah.
It's not like he turned around and ran backwards.
Pretty sure there were 2 defensive players that had their hands on him.
When have you ever seen them let a play continue while a player's getting pushed 5 yards back?
I don't know. So that was my question. Say for whatever reason, he shakes loose of that. After getting knocked back to the 6 or 7 yard line, he shakes loose, dives, and goes into the end zone. Right. What do you got now?
Which is essentially what he did because he pitched it, and then it got loose, and then they scored.
Right, but no OPI. Yeah. They never blew that dead. So you're telling me, without the pass interference, you're telling me that if he shakes and wiggles and he finds his way diving back into the end zone, you're going to let that go? Like getting driven back 5 yards from the initial point of contact is not a forward progress issue?
I think it's the biggest issue that we have in the entire sport right now because if you look at what goes on with the tush push, we don't know when forward progress starts or when it ends or all that stuff because it's arbitrary. At one point it's a fumble, one time it's not because of forward progress. Now we have this incident where it's like, are you just swallowing your whistle at times? Because now I'm like, my tinfoil hat's on based on what Puka Nacua was saying during that interview with the podcast. I don't know if you watched that, where he was talking about how the refs are people too, and they go into their little social circles and talk about how, hey, you see that? I didn't make that call on purpose because of X, Y, and Z, or I made this call because I wanted to make things a little more interesting. And it's like, okay, so now is there some credence to what Puka's saying? I mean, it all makes sense. They're people too. They want to be, He's a car salesman 7 months out of the year, and then he gets to go be a ref.
Right.
You know, I don't know, man.
If I take my tinfoil hat off, the only explanation for what happened in the Steelers-Lions game at that moment, the only explanation, minus the hat, Ryan, they're watching the game. They're not looking for fouls. They're not looking to call the game. They're watching the game. They are caught spectating.
Just forgot.
They don't hit their whistle. They don't do whatever because they're spectating. They're watching the damn game play out. That's how it is.
Right.
They're juiced up from the crowd going crazy, whatever it is. Oh, we're down at the goal line. Well, and they're spectating. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no other explanation for it. None.
But don't you think that muscle memory would have kicked in when you saw him getting driven back 3 yards, 5 yards? And
unless you're watching and you're like, oh my God, is he going to make it in? Is he going to make it?
Well, I think my brain would have stopped. Well, he didn't make it in. Now he's getting driven back. Oh yeah.
One would think.
One would think. Like, I don't get it.
And I would say,
but then you had the presence of mind to call OPI.
Right. And the huddle together. For however long they huddle together and they're like, guys, we really jacked this up. We got to come up with a story right now. We got to figure this out. And then the OPI followed by, this is not reviewable. The game is over. It's like, oh, wow.
Yeah. Congratulations, you scored a touchdown. Doesn't count. F you. We're moving on.
There's a lot of things that happened right there that was just a really bad look.
Also, a guy got punched in the face during that game. A fan did.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah. DK Metcalf.
Yep.
Apparently... And there are two sides to every story. He claims somebody called him a derogatory name, so that's why he went over there, grabbed the person, and then proceeded to assault them. There's another video from the other angle that shows no evidence of that whatsoever.
It's turning out to be a very costly punch.
Yeah. So, and that was one of the slips, so we'll just get into it now since we're talking about this game.
Are we going to go back to John Harbaugh?
We absolutely will.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
Sorry, John.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, if you didn't see it, go ahead and look it up on social media. But basically, you have DK on the sideline going over to a Lions player that supposedly he's jawing with or saying something about. Don't really know what's going on here, but he walks over. He grabs him by what appears to be his fake blue hair. Something to that effect. But anyway, strikes the fan. Things happen. So now we're a couple games removed. DK Metcalf then receives a 2-game suspension for his actions. If this suspension is upheld, Kelly, based on his current contract, the suspension will void not just the rest of his salary for this season, but $45 million in future guarantees, $25 million fully guaranteed in 26, and $20 million for injury in 27 for this one altercation.
Yep.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And I think this goes back years, decades to the malice in the palace with the Pacers. Do not get involved with fans. Do not do it.
Don't you think that, okay, the NFL, they're not looking at that, which you just read off about the contract stuff and all the other conflicts that this is going to create. They're not looking at that when they drop the sanction, right? Don't you think now, big picture, looking back, looking at the overall consequence that potentially could be, that they're going to be like, okay, we got to reel this in a little bit. Here's what's happening if we impose said fine, if we do this, here's what he's facing, whatever the case is, because that's a greater consequence than Rashee Rice, right? Who ended up with criminal charges, who did whatever, but he's not losing that kind of money. Rashee Rice didn't lose a thing in that deal. He didn't lose any money in that.
Just his job and his reputation, I guess, but yeah.
He kept his job.
Yeah.
He sat out.
Rashee, sorry.
Rice.
I was thinking Ray Rice when you said that. That's my
No.
That's my bad.
Rashee Rice.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Criminal charges, on probation, still has jail to serve.
Damn
all
near
this stuff.
killed multiple people.
Correct. He's not getting anywhere of a monetary consequence like this will present.
It's true.
And no, I'm not minimizing what DK did. DK, stupid move, stupid moment, whatever. I'm not going to minimize that. But the consequence, outside of a suspension, carrying all of that financial punishment, that's pretty significant, man.
It is a lot.
Don't you think the NFL can look at that or should look at that and go back and be like, okay, well, considering all of the circumstances surrounding this, this is what we're going to do. I don't know.
It almost seems like they're trying to make an example out of him.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, even I don't even think Myles Garrett got punished that badly for taking off Mason Rudolph's helmet and damn near killing him with it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're not taking $50 million out of somebody's pocket.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's a sport. I've been on the other side, talking out the other side of my mouth. I know.
And it's contracts when you get into contract and the verbiage of certain contracts, stuff like that. So,
Yep.
I mean, I get it. Suspensions and stuff like that. But it's
the suspension fits, but having the additional monetary issue, that doesn't fit.
It's almost
as
like
much.
it's almost like the Steelers put that in the contract, knowing that he's got like these.
And maybe that's it. Maybe that's true.
Behavioral issues.
Maybe. I mean, they got rid of a behavioral issue.
I was going to say, or they learned something with George Pickens. And
Correct.
Like, hey.
Yep. Here's what we're going to do for you. Oh,
Yeah.
well, you screwed that up.
If you would have placed a $100 bet on either George Pickens or DK Metcalf to punch a fan at the beginning of the year,
Pickens.
yeah,
All day. Pickens all day. Yep.
100%. Yeah. So I mean, that just a bunch of weird things going on in that game between the Steelers and the Lions. But what we really want to talk about, and what we've talked about on this show multiple times, is John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh continuously puts himself in pretty interesting situations when it comes to his job status, just based on the fact that there hasn't been a ton of success when you want to talk about playoffs, when you want to talk about getting things done at the right time and when they need to get done at the right time. And what I want to point out specifically is what happened between this game on Sunday night between the Patriots and the Ravens, where the Ravens score a touchdown towards the latter half of, I think it was about 10 minutes to go in the fourth, and they were just running the ball down the throat of the Patriots. Derrick Henry was unstoppable. He scores his second touchdown of the night. He's averaging anywhere between 7, 8, 9 yards a carry. This puts them up by 2 scores. And then things start to unravel for the Ravens, as they have over the course of the last 5 years when it comes to fourth quarter leads.
Yeah.
I sent you a picture of teams over the course of the last 5 years that have blown fourth quarter leads. The Ravens have the most losses with 7+ point leads in the fourth quarter in a 5-year span. 12. The next closest team would be the Colts at 7, the Bears at 7, and the Cardinals at 7.
Mm-hmm. And where does it start?
It's got to start from the top down,
starts
right?
at the top.
So, specifically looking at what happened on Sunday night, as I mentioned, and as we've mentioned multiple times, where we have conversations about the Ravens, Derrick Henry, why weren't they successful? It usually comes back to what, Kelly?
Where does he go in the later part of the game?
Why do they not run him enough? Why is he not there? Where does he go?
It's countless examples, and I'm glad we're having this conversation because it's countless examples all the way back to X number of years ago when they're playing the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. Derrick Henry takes the ball basically by himself, the opening drive, and they go right down the field and score against the Chiefs. And all of a sudden, he ends that game with only 8 carries. He dominates the Chiefs defense with 5 to 6 carries during the opening drive, and he ends up with only 8. So Lamar could take his 8. But again, where does he go in these late games? How many times do we have to have this happen? You brought him in for a reason. You brought him in to do what he is shown to do in most of these games that he's playing. He's going to take the rock. He's going to punish defenses. He's going to get yards, and he's going to get touchdowns. Why do we keep eliminating him from the game plan late in the game? Why, John? It starts with you.
Yeah.
I mean, X number of years, X number of coordinators, whatever. Why do you keep removing him from the game? You know, I could make the argument, and I was going to joke around and say, oh, look, big game, tight game. Lamar takes himself out of the game again. Weird. Saw that earlier this season against the Chiefs. But more consistent is eliminating Henry from the game plan. Why do you do that? I have zero explanation for that, other than the announcers tried to. The announcers tried to explain it as, well, when Derrick Henry's in there, they just bring more men up into the box. Whatever. You have a lead. You have a lead. Run the clock.
Okay, so you put more men up in the box, but you're clearly making the blocks, and he's making the guys miss that he's supposed to. He's getting to the second level and gashing you for yards after yards. He's averaging 7.8 yards per run in this game. He ran the ball 18 times for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Right. And how many in the last 2 drives?
Well, specifically, if we really want to get into it, at the and here we will. End of the third quarter, fourth quarter starts. Obviously, they run the ball for 4 yards with Henry. Then they run the ball for 22 yards with Henry. Then they run the ball for 4 yards with Henry. And then they finish it off with a 2-yard touchdown run with Henry. 1, 2, 3, 4 runs to start the fourth quarter, leading to a touchdown.
Correct.
Kelly, how many rushing attempts did you have in the Patriots-Ravens game Sunday night from the 12:50 mark until the game ended? How many rushing yards and attempts did you have in that game?
I had 0. Just as many as Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In what world is that okay?
Why does it keep happening? Everything is a question today. I don't know.
Because they go up. What was the score at that time? Goes up 24-13.
Correct. 11-point lead.
Yeah, with about 11 minutes left in the game.
And
right?
you've got a defense that is gassed.
Yeah. 3 minutes and 49 seconds later, Patriots score a touchdown, make it 21-24. Ravens, what do? They go on a 6-play, 13-yard drive where they throw it with Huntley, they run it with Mitchell, another pass, a 3-yard run with Huntley, another pass, and a 5-yard penalty that eventually leads to a punt. Still don't see Derrick Henry's name in there.
No.
So then they turn the ball over, and what does New England do? How about a 9-play, 89-yard drive for a touchdown to go up 28-24?
Yep.
Okay. So now you have an opportunity to go down and score a touchdown. Maybe, potentially. No, not really, because your first play from scrimmage, Todd Monken, what do you do? Shotgun, Tyler Huntley, short pass to the right for a -5-yard gain. Or not so much of a gain. And Todd Monken does this consistently. How this guy continues to have a job, how he continues to be allowed to call plays with a guy like Derrick Henry running the ball and a quarterback like Lamar Jackson under center, where he cannot figure out his ass from a hole in the ground, is beyond me.
Yep.
He does this consistently, and if I was a Ravens fan, I would be beyond pissed because I have peered into these games periodically to see what's going on, to kind of watch them, and they will run these plays where it's you wonder, what in the absolute hell are we doing? Why are you running that specific play? Why is this guy not in the game? And at what point does John Harbaugh go, you know what? It's been about 10 minutes since I've seen the best player on our team on the field on offense.
Nothing.
And guess what? That's not Lamar Jackson because he's hurt. Because he got kneed in the ribs and he might have punctured an organ. And we're not sure what's going on, so he's not going to enter the game. So who's the next best player on our team?
The guy that we're leaving in the sideline jacket over here.
For 12 minutes and 50 seconds, he never touches the ball.
Correct.
Well, you're up by 11.
How many times have you seen him run the ball? How many times have you seen him catch screens and things out of the backfield where he's very, very effective? Why with damn near 13 minutes remaining in a game that you're leading by 11 points, do you just leave him stand there and just sitting on the bench?
How do you not look over and go, okay, we've run 6 plays, but where's Derrick? He's gashing him for 7 yards. He's got 130 yards and 2 touchdowns.
But why is nobody asking the question?
He's the one that's supposed to ask the question. He's the head coach.
That's what I mean. But head coach, nothing. Offensive coordinator, nothing. We're not putting packages. Harbaugh's going to listen to the OC, right? And the OC says, okay, we're going to need Henry on this. We're going to run this scheme. This is what we're going to run. This formation, whatever. Somebody has to see this. There's all these coaches and all these people. I mean, hell, even the owner. If you're sitting up in your warm, cozy press box and you're like, where is Derrick Henry? Because we're giving him $30 million to be what? Sitting on the bench? Somebody's got to say something. Where the hell does the accountability lie in that? It falls on the head coach. So quit making the same mistake. It's insanity. Same thing over and over and over, expecting different results. You get the same result, you lose.
Yeah.
And you just keep doing it.
And don't you sleep a lot better at night when you're up by 11 with about 10 minutes to go and maybe you lose, but at least you gave it to the best player on the team who was gashing these guys for 22, 10, 7 yards a carry, right?
Yeah.
At least you can go, hey, at least we had our best player with the ball in his hand to try to end the game and be the closer that we know that he is. He's only ran the ball 18 times this game. Maybe we ought to try it again. I don't know.
There must be a clause in his contract where he's got to keep it under 20 for some
And how
reason.
does Derrick
Maybe
Henry
that's
not
it.
go over to Harbaugh and be like, dude, coach, I'm killing these guys. Why am I not in the game?
He's just sitting on the bench with a disgusted look on his face. They kept showing the camera on him, and he's just kind of standing there like, what the hell?
I'd have a hard time not going over and saying something like, dude, put me back in. You know what my worth is. I've shown you that. I'm killing these guys. I got 2 touchdowns and 130 yards.
I don't know. Undisclosed injury. Maybe he wasn't feeling good. Maybe he had a cramp in his toe. I don't have any idea, but somebody has to recognize something that's going on, and it starts with Harbaugh. How many times, John? How many times? How many times can you have a team that arguably is stacked with probably some of the best talent in the NFL? and you continue to peter out either mid to late season or into the playoffs, and you show nothing for the roster that you've created. How does that happen? And where does the accountability fall? You can put it on Monken. I can put it on Monken. We can put it on a number of different people, but ultimately, we joke about Mike Tomlin. How many 500 seasons or just a little over 500 are we happy with? Are we good with 8-7 or 8-8, whatever the record turns out? Are we good with that? They have had a stacked roster for at least the last 4 consecutive seasons. Stacked roster. They've got all the pieces there to make a run. Shit, they're everybody's preseason favorite. Look at the Ravens. They come out. They play good defense one week. Oh, the old Ravens defense is back. And then they shit the bed and they do what they do. But they've got a stacked roster. They have no excuse. I said once, Chiefs have no excuse to be a 5 or a 6 loss team. They don't. With their roster, they don't. They just play like ass, and nobody wants to execute. This is on Harbaugh.
Yeah. This is one of those things, and I'm going to play a clip here, and I'm going to preference it by saying what he has to say here makes him one of 3 things. He's either an idiot, he's in on it, or he's a liar.
Give me option number 2.
He's an idiot.
Because I don't think he's an idiot.
He's an idiot, he's in on it, or he's a liar.
Yeah, I don't think he's an idiot.
Okay. Well, you tell me after you hear his excuse.
But considering who his brother is, he might be a liar. He might fall into that one too.
His excuse for why Derrick Henry wasn't in the game.
You look back on it, I think it's pretty easy to say, hey, he should have been in there or shouldn't have been in there. But we're rotating those guys throughout the game as 2 backs, And but yeah, game-winning drive. Do I want Derrick Henry on the field? Sure, I do want him on the field.
Did you?
Yep.
Did you, John?
You're either an idiot, a liar, or you're in on it.
If you wanted him on the field, then you as a head coach put him on the field.
So you're rotating those guys out, huh? Baltimore rushing carrying attempts. Keaton Mitchell, 9 carries. Everybody else less than 1 or 2. Derrick Henry had 18.
Yep.
Does that seem very balanced? Who got more there? Almost double the carries.
Right.
Is that a rotation to me? I don't really think so. I think that's just kind of like a pacing thing.
It's a pretty uneven rotation. And then you look at the average yards per carry, 7.1, versus the rest of the backs being 1.4.
How many did Keaton Mitchell have? Average. On 9 carries.
1.4 yards, Ryan.
Interesting. And 5 of his 13 yards came on 1 carry.
Yep. And he should have been in there, but John says it's easy to see. It's easy to see that. Well, is it that easy? Then put him in the game, John.
It might be a combination of he's a liar and he's in on it.
Or is the guy is he just off in space? Is he thinking about?
Are you saying it's a comment? Because I said he's either an idiot, he's a liar, or he's in on it.
Yeah, is he just lost in freaking space? Is he thinking about something he has to do in the garage tomorrow? Is he he's got a trip coming up? Like, what's the deal?
I don't know. And somebody's going to come at me and be like, well, he's a defensive guy, Ryan. Like, he's got to, that's his main focus. He's
good.
No, listen, you have a defensive coordinator. You've got an offensive coordinator. Regardless of whether you're a defensive-minded head coach, your job as a head coach is to be all-encompassing, to see the full picture of what's going on, right? And to hold those guys accountable.
If you're a defensive coach,
and you can trust Todd Monken all you want. But you've played enough, you've been a head coach long enough, and you've seen what happens. The reason you got Derrick Henry is because of the same conversations we were having before Derrick Henry got in there. Why can't the Ravens run the ball in the playoffs? Because if they could run the ball, they sure as hell could beat the Chiefs and win a Super Bowl.
Yes.
So you went out and got Derrick Henry, and what do? You consistently leave him on the bench or out of the game, or you don't run him at all in high-pressure situations. So part of me's leaning towards the fact that you're just a f***ing idiot and you don't know what you're doing.
It's possible. Let's go back to him being a defensive guy. And if somebody comes at you arguing that he's a defensive-minded guy, great. If you're a really good defensive-minded guy,
who's been killing you all day on defense?
You have a running back that you as a defensive-minded guy know you don't want to play against, and neither does the other team. If you're a defensive guy, you know you've got a bruiser in there that is killing the Patriots defensively. That's not even a good argument.
I've been so fired up about this for the last day and a half. It's insane because it doesn't make any sense to me.
We've left him alone. We've left him alone for too damn long. We kind of tiptoed around it earlier this season, maybe in last year's episodes and whatever. We tiptoed around it. We spent more time with Tomlin and Mike McDaniel and some of these other guys, and we just kind of leave Harbaugh alone. I'm done leaving him alone. I'm done because this is I was already kind of getting on his ass.
Yeah.
When he basically shit the bed against the Chiefs. They had that game with Derrick Henry. They had that in the playoffs, the AFC Championship. You are going to dominate. Kansas City's defensive line and their defensive backfield. You're going to dominate with Henry. You took the ball right down the field on 7 or 8 plays, 6 of which were Derrick Henry, and you scored. It's like, whoa, I see what the recipe is here.
Yeah.
And then you went away from him. He ended the game with 8 freaking carries. I was giving him shit then, and I've left him alone since. I'm all done leaving him alone. You don't have an excuse. You know what? He's all 3. He's an idiot. He's in on it. And he is a liar. He's all 3 of them. All of the above. Just throw that option in.
Yeah.
All of the above.
I don't know how you don't just fall on your sword when Lamar Jackson's out of the game and you go, all right, we're just going to hope Derek can continue to do what he does here towards the last part of this game. And if he doesn't do it, at least you gave your opportunity to your best skill position player to make plays.
You know, with Huntley coming on the field, you're going to have guys around him step up.
Yeah.
Like you're going to have to simplify the game a little bit because he's not in there every snap. He's probably not even taking a third of the practice reps during the week. You know you have to simplify it. Well, you simplify it with your high-paid guys that have proven to beat the hell out of people.
Yeah.
Where'd he go? I don't know. And apparently John doesn't either, but he, his little response to media there is, it's easy to see now. Yeah, hindsight, yeah. No, John, people are asking the questions with 12 and a half to go in the fourth quarter. Why is Derrick Henry still on the sidelines? Why does the camera, like the cameraman was even going,
right.
shining the camera like, look,
But
he's still on the
I think
sidelines. What
it
are they
just
doing?
bleeds back over into those conversations we have all the time where it's like, how come idiots like us who just sit on the couch and watch it, why are we able to recognize it? Is it because we don't have all the other things going on that we can just focus on the things that matter and because they've got all the little things that they have to take care of? Why don't they notice it? Why can't they fix the problem that everybody else can see? And the cameraman is literally pointing out to us on national television, but you're in the locker room, you're on the sideline, you're right there, you're supposed to be the master of all this creation that you have in front of you, and you can't see the forest for the trees.
Yep.
I think one of the guys that I follow on Instagram, you've probably seen some of his stuff, it's Benchwarmer Brandon. I think he puts this into perfect perspective here.
This is Derrick Henry. Yep. Derrick Henry is averaging 7 yards per carry and is gashing the defense every time he touches the ball. Yep. Derrick Henry just scored a touchdown to extend your lead to 11 in the fourth quarter of a must-win game. Yep. Giving Derrick Henry the ball as much as possible gives you your best chance at winning this game.
Makes sense to me.
So what are we going to do when we get the ball back to put this game away?
Don't play Derek another snap and let Tyler Huntley throw.
Why are you like this?
I'm just going to leave it there.
Yeah,
and for
perfect.
Our good buddy Brett, who is a hardcore Ravens fan, I don't know how you're not pulling your hair out or what's left of it at this point after that game and wanting to see him gone.
It has to be more
because you are wasting Lamar Jackson at this point.
Very true. Very true. It has to be harder as a fan of a team with that much talent to just have underachieving time and time again, week in and week out, than it was for a 20-year period, me as a Chiefs fan, when we didn't have necessarily that kind of talent. We kind of knew, hey, if we can hang close with some of these teams, that's moral victory for us, right?
Yeah.
We don't have the stacked roster that they've had. It's got to be hard for Brett to be a fan.
It's tough,
man. I don't even know.
You see all the pieces in front of you and it just can't come together. I mean, Mark Andrews had a carry for 3 yards in that game. Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Moving on.
You know what, Ryan? Enough about John Harbaugh. But let's talk about let's turn the page here, and let's talk about somebody else who may or may not know shit.
All right.
And let's get into our segment, Ryan. Let's get into, and as I advertised,
yeah,
it was encouraged to me that we maybe change the name so we keep it family friendly, and we want to leave the SH word out. So in the exploration of this, it was you don't know scat. It was a list of things that you sent me, a list of things that I had. What we've.
You good?
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to call an ambulance, do I? Right?
No. Man, I hope you edit that silence. That's going to drive people crazy. What we have agreed upon is the Quizard of Oz.
Yep. The ones that were left out were Obscura, Fact or Fictionaries, The Vault of Uselessness, which I didn't mind too much. Quizzy McQuizface. It's always a solid one. Trivial Pursuits. The Quizard of Art is what we chose. Brain Farts and Wild Guesses. I really thought if I was a betting man, the one that I thought you would have liked the most would have been fact checked or wrecked.
Yeah, I did like
Yeah,
that.
it's up your alley a little bit, I think.
Quizard of Oz is good.
Yeah. Needle in a fact stack. But Quizard of Oz it is.
We're going to roll with the Quizard of Oz, and we have a friend of the show that when she heard about...
And yes, we have friends. It's okay.
A friend of the show. When she heard about said game, quizzing that we were going to do, she was all on board, and I said, hey, we're going to call you in. So you know what? Let's go ahead and get Meredith in here.
All right.
Hello.
Meredith.
Hello.
Hey, it's Kelly and Ryan with the Armchair Authority. Welcome.
Well, hello, Armchair Authority boys. How are ya?
Hi, Meredith.
Hi.
Living the dream. We're gonna make you a star today. We're gonna see how far you can take this.
Perfect. After all, I am a long-time listener, first-time caller.
And we appreciate that about you. We appreciate that. So you know the name of the segment, which is new, right? Second week running here.
Yes.
It used to be You Don't Know Bleep, but I was encouraged to change that. So now it's called the Quizard of Oz.
I don't know if I can get on board, but I'll try.
You better get on board because we've got a list of questions coming for you, and we're gonna see what you're made of here, Meredith. You yourself told me that you are just full of these useless facts.
Well, I am, but it'll be the luck of the draw that you ask me all the questions that I don't know.
Well, these are going to be pretty off the wall for you. So if you're full of useless facts, we'll see what you know here.
How many do you have today?
I have 5 and a bonus question.
Ooh.
I do in fact have a bonus question.
All right.
Perfect.
Meredith, are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's start with this though. Who is your favorite host of this show, and why is it Ryan?
Well, I don't know that we have that much time.
Okay.
So,
Oh, all right. Fair enough. I appreciate that.
I'll defer it.
That's a solid deflection. That's good stuff. All right, Meredith, here we go. You ready?
Yes.
Giddy up. Quizard of Oz underway. What fruit is classified as a berry, but is often mistaken for a non-berry? Is it?
I think I know this.
A strawberry, a banana, a raspberry, or a blackberry?
I feel like banana would be the only one.
Is that your final answer?
I guess so, yeah.
A banana's a plantain, isn't it?
Banana is correct.
Is it?
Banana is correct. She is off to a 1-0 start.
Now, keep going. I'm going to research this, but I thought I heard somewhere that a strawberry was something else, but I'm just going to fact check you. Keep going.
Banana is the fruit classified as a berry, but mistaken. Okay, good job. Meredith, here we go.
Thank you.
Number 2.
Thank you.
Archaeologists, and I'm sure you're big on this. I'm sure this really gets into your wheelhouse right here.
Botanically, a strawberry is not a true berry.
There you go. The answer is banana, though, Ryan. Don't try to dispute this. It's banana.
was a plantain.
I still get the point.
It's a banana. Okay. Here we go. Number 2. Archaeologists found honey in ancient tombs that was how old? First, we've got 1,000 years, or 2,000 years, or 3,000 years, or 4,000 years. How old was the honey first found in an ancient tomb?
Can I get a little bit of clarification? Can you tell me which country the tomb was in, or I don't get that?
You do not get that because it's just archaeologists, and they found honey in an ancient tomb.
Okay, I'm going to say 2,000 years.
2,000 years is not correct. Would you like to try again?
Hey, I was digging in my backyard, and I found some honey, and...
And it happened to be 3,000 years old.
No context for where it came from, what type of honey. Is it Egyptian honey? Is it Mayan honey? Like,
yeah.
Listen, asshat. Yeah. You agreed to this quiz.
Did I?
Now you're challenging all my credibility with this quiz.
Well, it kind of seems like you're skewing it towards people just being wrong.
No, it's not. She's 1-1 right now.
That's exactly how I feel too.
The answer, Miss Meredith, is 3,000 years. So you were close by 1,000. All right.
Once I wanted to be an archaeologist, to be quite honest.
See, that's why I actually handpicked this for you. I knew that you had
could be
archaeologists somewhere in your history.
I can dig that.
Oh, look at the big brain on Brad. All right, Meredith, number 3. How many hearts does an octopus have?
8.
1, 2, 3, or 4?
You're thinking tentacles.
Actually, I think it's 2.
You are incorrect. The correct answer is 3. It's funny that you rattled off 8.
She was thinking of tentacles.
She was thinking of tentacles.
Yeah.
I don't really know what I was thinking.
Do worms have 8 hearts? Worms got like worms got a couple hearts in there.
I don't know. That's not on my sheet.
Cows got 4 stomachs?
Maybe. But the fun fact is that I asked these questions to a coworker, and he also said 8. And I'm like, don't be thinking of tentacles, which don't mess up the N for an S. Don't mess it up. Okay. Fun fact. Here we go. Number 4. Are you familiar with Cleopatra, Meredith?
Yes.
Well, she had some honey.
Elizabeth
How old was it?
3,000 years old that honey was.
She was holding out on us. Miserable hide.
All right, Meredith. Cleopatra lived closest to which historical event? Now, not physically living next to, but Cleopatra lived during a time closest to which historical event? 1, the Great Pyramid of Giza's construction.
Giza.
Whatever. The signing of the Declaration of Independence. The first moon landing, or the fall of the Roman Empire.
I think it's 1 or 2.
This is for Meredith.
2 or 3.
This is for Meredith. You answer after.
Can I phone a friend and can I be Ryan?
I think it's 2 or 3. I think I've heard some arbitrary fact where it's like she was closer to living towards one of those 2 modern things than it was towards the older ones. But Adam, you saw how well I did on this last week, so take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Gosh. I don't know. I feel like maybe 4.
The fall of the Roman Empire?
I don't know. I have no idea.
That is incorrect.
I only know about falling trees this week.
Oh, so I know. I'm so sorry.
I'm just using the power of logic here because you said the signing of the Declaration of Independence or the moon landing.
Correct.
And the question is, she lived closer to
which historical event?
So it couldn't be the moon landing because that came after the signing of the Declaration. It's got to be the Declaration of Independence.
It is the moon landing.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
It is the first moon landing. According to the answers provided to me, it is the first
But that
moon
came
landing.
after the signing of the Declaration of Independence. That doesn't make any sense. And she came before that.
It's the moon landing.
Are you sure?
It's the first moon landing.
That doesn't make any sense.
You gonna fact check me?
Just think about it logically, though, Kelly. You got to think like.
Are you sure about like when the movie came out? Maybe that. With Elizabeth Taylor? Like,
Cleopatra lived closer to which historical event? C. The first moon landing is the answer.
Did you put in? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
I'm just telling you what the answer is.
That's wrong.
Okay. Okay.
That's like me saying, did you live closer to 9/11 or COVID? You were younger when 9/11 happened, therefore you existed closer to that time period.
I don't know if they're going up or going down, but it's the first moon landing.
Okay,
it's
whatever.
the first moon landing. Great job. Great job. Here we
Closer
go.
To us? Closer to us? Is that the question? Because if it's closer to you and I, then the moon landing would make sense. Make it make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
I never thought that the Quizard of Oz was going to generate
well, just like the Wizard of Oz, you're a fraud.
Such emotion. I am not. You think these are my questions? Like I was 0 for 5 on this damn quiz.
I can see why, because none of the questions are real.
I don't know nothing. All right, here we go. This one's right up your alley here. Right up your alley. Wombat feces is uniquely. I'll let you laugh that out first.
Oh my god. Okay, carry on. Wombats.
Wombat feces is uniquely shaped like which geometric figure? A sphere, a cylinder, a cube, or a pyramid? We are talking wombat fecal matter.
And if you don't get this, you literally don't know shit. So.
Yeah, literally.
Scat.
Oh my gosh.
Scat.
I'd say like a pyramid. Squeeze it out there on top like a little Hershey kiss.
I like the logic.
Like the emoji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cube.
The emoji.
It's a cube.
It's a cube.
It's a cube.
I'd like to Google that one.
You should.
See how that
because that's exactly where I got it from.
Yeah, just don't click on images. You'll be all right.
I feel like you're on the wrong side of the internet, Kelly.
I do entertain the dark side on occasion. So here you go though. That's 5. You're 1 for 4.
Okay.
We're all right here because we've got a bonus question, and this one is specifically for you, Meredith. 100%.
Okay. Okay.
Ready?
Right. Yeah.
What is the top reason a man might claim he fell into the shower? A, he was attempting a daring stunt. B, he saw an imaginary spider. C, his wife set him up. Or D, he simply lost all athleticism.
Can I get an E? Just
all of the above.
Drunk from floating the river.
We can add that because then it's going to be right. There you go. You're two of 6.
Thank you. Thank you for all the marbles.
That's fantastic. Hey, thanks for playing, Meredith.
Hey, thanks for calling. I wish you guys a very Merry Christmas.
Yes, you as well.
too.
Enjoy your day.
Yes, thanks for all the hard work you guys put into.
Thanks for listening.
Appreciate
it. Makes
you
all the hard
listening.
work that much better.
Yeah.
So
It's nice to have friends of the show.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys have a great day.
Hey,
Thank
you as well. Thanks for playing.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Good Lord, Mr. Combative.
well, it didn't make any sense. I guess. So read the Cleopatra one again. Is it closest to us? She lived closest to what historical event as we did? Because then the moon landing would make sense.
Here's exactly how it was asked.
Okay.
Cleopatra lived closer to which historical event?
Think about that logically, and it doesn't make sense with the answers that you have there.
Well, it's not the Great Pyramid. We know that.
Right.
Signing of the Declaration of Independence, the first moon landing, or the fall of the Roman Empire.
Because the first moon landing would have been what, right around between 1960 and 1980 or something like that.
Not a clue.
I'm just giving you a time frame.
History is not my friend.
Signing of the Declaration of Independence right around 1776. Cleopatra obviously lived before both of those events, but if you're talking about which one she's closer to, it would have been the Declaration of Independence because that came almost 200 years before the moon landing.
No, according to my quiz maker, it's the fall of the first moon landing.
I'm just asking you to look at it logically.
I don't want to look at it logically. I don't know what the answer is. I was 0 for 5. I was 0 for 5 on this, and I wasn't even close. I don't know nothing. That's why I don't take the quiz anymore. Because, like I told you, I have to take the quiz to get the answer, right? And it was just all the way through. 5 times. Here we go. 1,800 years before the Declaration of Independence was signed. Interesting.
That's my point. She lived roughly 2,000 years before the 1969 moon landing. You're either an idiot, you're a liar, or you're in on it.
You are 100% talking to ChatGPT. ChatGPT gave me that. If you pull it up right now, it'll show you the same damn thing.
Yeah, Cleopatra to the Great Pyramids, 2,500 years. To the moon landing, 2,000 years.
Yeah.
To the signing of the Declaration of Independence, 1,800 years.
That's incredible. They got it wrong. They got it wrong.
Well, GPT.
We're gonna, you know what? We're gonna give that to Meredith then, because that's what she had. She went with that one, didn't she?
Yes. No.
She went with fall of the Roman.
She went pyramids. Yeah. She didn't go with the 50-50 shot that she had with the one that I gave
pyramid
to you.
was the wombat fecal matter because it, little squirt out there comes up to a triangular
What is this?
top.
Does this explain it? I guess that would make sense in the context that it puts there because so this says Cleopatra lived closer to the time of the construction of the moon than the landing of the pyramid. What? Construction of the moon? I'm done with the internet.
You know what? I'm gonna have to clean it up. I've got to have better. I got to have better stories. This is new. This is new for us. Yeah. A new segment.
Yeah.
Appreciate Meredith coming on though.
Yeah, that was great.
Fantastic.
Yeah. You got anything going on for the holidays? You guys riding the train or going to see any lights or anything like that?
No. In fact, this might be the first. I don't want to think too hard or think too far back. This might be the first time that we're actually just winging it for Christmas. Yeah. Just small little group.
Nice.
Just immediate family and some boyfriend, girlfriend, maybe a niece or nephew, whatever the case is. It's going to be a small little event.
Your oldest bringing the boyfriend back?
Yep.
Is this the first time? First Christmas they've?
I'm gonna go with. I think so because I think he was doing something with the family last year.
Oh, he's been around for that long, then, huh?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know the months. That's something I'm learning that you're going to get into.
Yeah.
When your kids are in the dating game.
Yeah.
We celebrate everything.
Yeah.
This is our 2-month. This is our 4-month anniversary.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that when I was in, because my wife and I, we've been together since we were 16 years old, so that was a thing. And then finally it was just like, okay. Because then you get married, and then all that other stuff just kind of goes away. You start focusing on the marriage years rather than the dating years, right? So,
how old's your kid? 14 months. Oh, wow. Okay.
You know what? I am proud of my wife and I. We never did that. I
think it's because we made fun of it.
Well, probably, but I hated it. But it was just like, how old are your kids? 1 and 2. That's all I say. They're 1 and 2. What more information do you need? You don't need to know that my daughter's 13 months old.
Yeah. Nope.
She's 1.
That's it.
Yeah. And she got in free at Storybook Island last night. That's all I care about.
Yes.
Yeah.
1 year, 3 months, 30
6
days.
hours.
You're right.
22 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah, you don't need to know nothing.
Yeah.
Don't even look at my kid.
It's a pretty low-key Christmas for you then?
Yes, very much so.
Do you guys have any traditions or a movie you watch or anything that you make or anything that's like...
You know, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
That's going to be on. Maybe Christmas Story.
Yeah. That's the one that always runs
That's
on
the kid with the mittens built into the...
Yeah.
And okay.
Get the tongue stuck on the pole. And
that will probably play.
Except I didn't say fudge.
Yeah, I think that'll play, but nobody really pays attention. But Christmas Vacation, that's kind of our thing. But no, my wife is doing a great job of organizing and kind of setting things up. It's going to be low key. I love that.
Yeah. My son is enthralled with The Grinch right now. So that's been a big hit. And then I just introduced him to the second Santa Claus movie with Tim Allen, because that one's got more of the fantastical stuff to it. Yeah. So he was pretty well glued to that because it was like Santa, You
guys staying home?
All our families here in town. So
wonderful.
Yeah, but we're leaving we're going to go to the Green Bay Baltimore game after Christmas.
Ask John.
I will. I'll try to find him and be like, "What are you doing?"
Just scoot on down to the sidelines there and just give him a quick question. You could say it's for me.
Yeah.
You could asking for.
I'm hoping one of two things happens while I'm there. Either one, I'll be a consultant for John Harbaugh on why he sucks at decision-making and coaching in December and January. Or two, because the Packers are so banged up and have nobody to play any position whatsoever that they'll look in the stands and see a 6'2", 235-pound man wearing a Tucker Kraft jersey and go, "Do you want to come down here and play?" I'd be like, "All right, I'll step in for a minute."
You might get the nod. Take the cleats, dust them off.
Yeah. I could pass for Tucker Kraft for a minute, maybe.
No, you couldn't. No.
Just pad me up and see what happens.
No.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, there are a lot of injuries on that Packer team, and it's super frustrating. Congrats to the Bears for winning their Super Bowl this weekend. That was great for them.
Frauds.
Still on that bandwagon.
Frauds. And Anthony in his little text about put some respect on his name or whatever. No, I'm not. No. Anybody can stand back there and throw from your back foot and just throw up a Hail Mary full of grace and let somebody run under it. No, I'm not putting that on Caleb.
Yeah, the amount of stuff that had to go wrong for the Packers to lose that game was pretty crazy.
And it happened. Yep.
Pretty crazy. And it's pretty crazy that, and I'm going to sound like a bitter old Packer fan or whatever, and it's fine. I don't really care. But celebrating a win like that, like the Bears have, when it took you overtime and 90% of the Packers starters to get hurt for you to even come close to winning it, and all of that other lucky shit to happen for you to win.
Yeah.
Good for you. And like I texted you over the weekend, I hope to God the Packers get to see them again in the playoffs.
Go ahead and repeat what Caleb Williams had to say with a fan.
Yeah, apparently he was signing jerseys and wrote F the Packers on a jersey.
Yep. Real character guy.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So I hope they enjoy it. I hope they do. So, because
it's going to come to an end.
It's, I don't know, when you win games like that consistently or inconsistently or however you want to put it, where you have to have that much luck to come out with like 5 or 6 of these wins that count for your schedule, good for them for keeping their head in it and keeping the momentum going when things went their way. But at the end of the day, oof. And I've said it before, if you want to win a championship, you got to have about 10% luck fall your way. It's just what it is. Ball's got to bounce a certain way, whatever. But
if they run into a 49er team that played last night and they play the same way against the Bears, that's not even close.
Yeah. I think I looking at my own emotions about what goes on with the Packers, and I'll leave it at this. I am just frustrated that I see the amount of talent that's on that team and how good they are. And they either A, have too many injuries to overcome, or B, they just beat themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And they beat themselves when it came to Carolina. They beat themselves when it came to Cleveland. They beat themselves when it came to this recent Bears game. If you look at 5 or 6 of their total losses that they've had this year, I don't think you can even point to one team that's just outright beat them. And I would say the closest one that just about outright beat them was Dallas.
Yeah.
But Dallas's defense is so bad they also gave up 40 points. So it is what it is, and it's just frustrating. So I kind of got to vent a little bit about that. But I'm hoping and praying for a round 3 with the Bears just to kind of settle things.
I hope not. I hope they're a week 1 out.
So there is still a chance that, these last 2 weeks, if the Packers win out and the Bears lose out, the Packers win the division. All the Packers have to do is win one game and they're in the playoffs. And I think all the Bears have to do is win a game and they're the division champs. So
yeah, because they're in. The Bears
in,
obviously are locked in, but Packers will be in. Yeah. They'll be in. We talked about this.
Yeah, they play the Ravens and the Vikings then the season. So
well, you only have to play Derrick Henry for 1 quarter, and then you're good. So if your defense can just hold on for that 1 quarter, you'll be fine.
Yeah. But exciting. My wife and I get to go take a trip, just the two of us for the first time in a long time.
Just the two of us.
So pray for my mom as she takes on the 2 kids over the weekend after Christmas. So they should be fine. It's probably going to be one of those situations where the kids are better for her than they are for both of us when we're both in the house, because that's just what kids do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So which is fine. I'd rather have it that way than the other way around. But yeah, we get to drive 11 hours and go hang out over in the Green Bay area for a couple of days and then come back. And really, really looking forward to it. So that's kind of our big thing that we're doing. We're not leaving for Christmas, but we're leaving right after Christmas, which is kind of a new adventure for us. We've never done that.
That'll be a fun trip, though.
Yeah, it'll be a good time reconnecting and just kind of like focusing on the two of us. And I get to go back to a couple memorabilia stores that I haven't been to in years. Now with a newfound love for trading cards and such. So that'll be kind of a fun little adventure. But yeah.
I won't be doing that.
Yeah. No driving
but I'm going to love it just the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, man. Good.
I think the kids are going to take off and go skiing during the day, whatever. I don't know. It's just wide open for me. It's wide open. I can't ski. I can't do any of that stuff, right? So it's just wide open. I'll figure it out, though.
Yeah.
I'm resourceful.
You can just sit on the deck and watch them go down the hill. It's supposed to be like 50 degrees on Christmas.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to have a good Christmas, and we hope all of our listeners have a good Christmas.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I think that's the show. We'll wrap it up there. If you guys want to be a part of the show at any point in time, you can always leave a comment on your podcast service of choice. You can also email us at thearmchairauthority@gmail.com. If you'd like a t-shirt that will not make it there in time for Christmas, but you'd still like to support in 2026, there's a link in the description for our TeePublic store. You can get one over there. I'm going to check and see if there have been any comments made recently, because sometimes there are and it doesn't notify me. Looks like there was one. This one comes from episode 79. Our friend Anthony and Shelby. There was a reply to this? What is happening here? There's so much content. I can't read it. Left a long one here. Said there's so much to unpack about Lane and his decision, but the truth of the matter is until the NCAA changes the recruiting window and this tampering with coaches will continue to leave. He was given an opportunity to coach at LSU, which is the top of the mountain, and he took it. To think that LSU was going to wait for an answer in January is a joke. Florida moved on from him a week prior to his decision because he wasn't willing to give them a timetable, so no more room to write. Then he replied to it. The reason he doesn't hold all the cards is because recruiting is huge right now, and if kids don't know who is coaching, they'll move on to another school. That's why we aren't crucifying Tulane and James Madison coaches for being able to coach in the CFP, even though they did the same thing. They quit on their teams, and yet no one cares. Seems fishy to me. I agree. Lane is a douche and really unlikable, and that makes this a whole thing. That makes this whole thing a story. A lot to unpack there. Should have read that at the beginning of the show. Thank you for commenting, is all I'll say. Anthony and I have had this discussion in private, so he knows where I stand on it. And I made comments to it, obviously, a couple weeks ago. Involving Lane Kiffin, but I kind of see both sides of the fence of it for sure. I mean, I made comments about it last week when some of the leadership on the team wanted him to say it and others wanted him to go based on comments that he made. So I get it. It is what it is. But it really boils down to that first part that he talks about. And what we've talked about is the NCAA just needs to change the way that they structure these things.
They need oversight on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it really goes back to that. So, I mean, if you really want to blame somebody, blame the NCAA, but it's hard when you see Lane do the things that he's done over the last decade and go, his intentions seem pure. Most of the time it's like, no, it's kind of what he said. He's a douche.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That sums up that whole thing right there.
Yeah. But thank you for the comment. and the reply to your own comment, which is, I mean, that's peak right there. I'm just kidding. I know they only give you so many characters, so I appreciate it. But yeah, if you want to be a part of the show like Anthony Shelby, you can always comment on that too, and we'll try to read them out when we find them. Never got an email yet, so you could be the first person to ever email us. You know, that would be an option too. If you didn't want to run out of room, you could email us. Try that. I don't know. Merry Christmas. There's my gift to you.
Wow.
Anyway.
No reading between the lines on that one.
No. You know, I mean, that's 90% of my relationship with Anthony is us just pretty much smacking each other in the jaw with backhanded comments. So,
I watch it. I watch it, and I just very quietly kind of back
It's a
out.
loving thing. It's a loving ribbing of things. So.
Notice I'm staying in my chair today.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, you're just waiting. Waiting. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You know what's funny is you unraveled that cord, and then within an hour later, you fell on your face. Do you want to discuss with the listeners towards the end of the show here, like that you're okay and what happened there? Just to kind of give them an insight as to what they heard.
Yeah, I cleared concussion protocol.
Yeah, which you stated at the top of the show, which is good.
I was eligible to come back here and be here today. But yeah, I just lost all athleticism trying to get out of the chair. I don't know. I backed it up. I stepped over one arm of it, and I don't know what I was doing.
It was like you caught toe or something and just went down.
I didn't only catch toe on chair. Then I caught it on the corner of the table. And I don't know why my other leg didn't just try to move forward. The bigger question is, why didn't my hands come up? Because you know, when you're a baby, right, and you go in for one of those early checkups, and all of a sudden they kind of do that little gravity thing where they and it's just like auto instinct. Whoop, hands come up, protect the face. No, my hands didn't come up. I ate the carpet. I hooked my toe on a chair. I hook it on the table. My arms just stayed at my side.
You were so gingerly trying to because you had someplace to be.
I was trying to be quiet.
Yeah, and you were trying to just do the whole polite thing without making a ton of noise. It was awesome, man. So good. I'm glad you're okay. First of all,
I'm good.
A fall like that at your age could have been just devastating.
Well, you know,
you break a hip and all of a sudden it's downhill from here.
Exactly. I was kind of going over doing a little inventory in the truck on the way back, and I'm like, God, is something hurting? It didn't hurt before I showed up. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, and you didn't have any sort of pain the next day. You're good.
I have pain every day, but I don't think that any of the pain resulted from the fall. But I am concerned. Yeah. I am concerned that the old autonomic system, fortunately I'm still able to breathe and blink.
We're going to need to get you one of those. I don't know if you've seen them, but I've seen them on social media and a couple other YouTube videos, but they're built-in airbag vests that you buy for old people.
Yeah.
And basically, when it detects that you're about to fall and hit the ground, it deploys an airbag.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I sure could have used it because my arms didn't move.
Yeah.
It's like I was in a dream where you're fighting and you can't fight with your arms. And then when you wake up, you realize you're laying on your arms.
Yeah.
One of those things.
Yeah.
My arms didn't move. My system's kind of shutting down.
Yeah.
I'm blinking and breathing, without having to put much effort or thought into it. But the arms aren't moving, buddy. And I lost all athleticism. It's as plain as that.
Yeah. Very good.
Mr. Quiet, trying to get out of here quietly. Goodness gracious.
Just an update for the rest of the year. If you've made it this far into the show, I think next week we'll probably just take the week off, Christmas, New Year's, and stuff like that. Once we get back on the 6th, the week of the 6th or whatever, we'll have CFP to talk about. We'll have playoff implications, all of that stuff. I think it'll just be a lot more meaty stuff to go on. So I don't think there'll be an episode next week. So if you want to, this one will be almost 2 hours long, so you can kind of space it out a little bit. You can savor it if you want to. And plus we've got a whole backlog of about 80 other episodes that you can listen to too. But yeah, just kind of give you an update on that. I think we'll just kind of take some time, families traveling, stuff like that. And then we'll kick off 26 with playoff push and all that other fun stuff to talk about. So, but with that, we want to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. We appreciate everybody that continues to listen, as you always do. If you think we deserve it, please go ahead and tell somebody about our show. That's the best way that we can get new listeners and continue to grow more and more as we just continue to push this experiment forward. Super enjoyable. So I thought today's show was great. I thought there was a bunch of fun stuff to talk about. So we want to continue that. So, and follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. You can get updates there as to when shows drop. And you can follow us on Spotify and all the other ones too. That'll tell you when new shows drop. So,
and if you're a friend of the show,
expect a call.
And you don't want to be in the Quizard of Oz, you better let us know or your phone might be ringing.
Yeah. Send either one of us a text, email us, leave a comment if you want to be a part of it. We'll reach out to you privately, and we can you can be on the show.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, we really need to have somebody in the back like taking account of some of the stats for some of this stuff, and then it'd be like, all right, we had X amount of competitors over the course of X amount of weeks, and this is the best one, and then we can send them a shirt or something, or I don't know. That would be kind of fun. Yeah. But I'm not that organized, and neither are you. So,
well, I'm going to give Meredith 2. I'm going to give her 2 because that answer was wrong.
2 or 3?
Yep, 2.
Okay.
She couldn't lose on the last one.
That's fair.
That
2 out of 5.
There's only one person who knows the answer to that, and it wasn't Meredith.
Right. Very good. But we appreciate you guys as always. Be safe out there. Enjoy the family time. Yeah, and we look forward to 2026. So thanks, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
They know the game, but they're keeping it fun, poking fun at the stats. They're second to none. From fantasy leagues to the lock